What's up, folks? Q&A part 3 coming to you from my car. Any time frame on Nirvana covers? No. Just like Primus, just like Green Day. Someday it'll happen. Could you redo the Mesmerize medley? Also, is there a possibility of some Avenged medleys in the future? I'd like to redo the Mesmerize medley. I thought that turned out really good. As far as like Avenged Sevenfold, I'm still like a new fan. I don't know their albums very well, so before I do anything like that, I gotta know their album inside and out. So it'll be a while for that. Why don't you cover any of Dream Theater's songs from The Astonishing? I don't follow Dream Theater ever since Mike Portnoy left. It's nothing against Mangini, because I know he's unbelievable. But this would be another great like talking shit clip, because James LaBrie is just, I cannot stand that guy. He's not like 100% horrible. Some of the stuff he does I don't mind, but God, he's just such a fucking softy, And Dream Theater was like the first band where I was torn between like, I really like this drummer. Getting into this would have really helped me a lot with my playing, because I didn't know much about like the whole progressive time signature stuff, all that shit, and basically had a big crush on Mike Portnoy, and I had to endure James LaBrie. I had to. Now that Portnoy's gone, I have no need to put myself through that. So that's why. So it's nothing against Mangini. It's more to do with fucking Mr. Tori Amos himself, fucking James LaBrie. So there you go. What do you think about gay marriages? Come on, man. I don't think shit about that. What's your favorite medley to do? Oh, I don't know, man. There's a lot of good ones. Like the self-titled medley from Korn, I was really happy with. Yeah, it's hard to say, but I was really happy with how that one came together. Will you ever play any Rush songs? Subdivisions. Will you do a Saint Anger medley? Yeah, I might do that someday. I don't know that album very good, though. I'm familiar with all the songs, but there's some songs that really bother me, and I might do it someday. Why do you think Metallica went soft, but Slayer is still fast as shit? Because Metallica went soft, and Slayer is still fast as shit. It's kind of like, hey, why is Lars play really lazy now, and Dave Lombardo is still just as fast as ever? I don't know, but seems like Lars has no excuse when you got someone like Dave Lombardo. I remember seeing them play at Silent Scream live in like 2005. I sat there shaking my head like, dude, what the fuck is wrong with Dave Lombardo, man? Because they're playing it faster than the album. I also seen them doing Angel of Death, and it's just like the album's not fast enough. They gotta speed it up, and he's a fucking machine, man. Unfucking believable. Are your Wuhan crash cymbals still available to buy? Like I said, that the S series are really hard to find, but if you want to buy the traditional crash cymbals from Wuhan, go on musiciansfriend.com. You can buy whenever you want. Can we see a Repentless medley or cover soon? Yeah. I really wanted to do Pride and Prejudice. That's my favorite song off that album. There's a couple good songs on there. I'll probably do someday. I don't know about a medley, though. Would you ever get triggers to play songs by bands like Rings of Saturn, Infant Annihilator, etc.? Fuck no. Some people ask, like, you're a good drummer. Why don't you try to advance and work on your speed and stuff and play like that really technical shit? Go find some videos of Despise Icon and look at the drummer's face when he's playing. What he does is unbelievable. What those kind of bands do are unbelievable, but that's not fun. Even like with Mongo 7, the stuff I used to do, it's so nerve-wracking to have to play a show and know the type of hills you got to climb to make it a good show, and all the things that can go wrong. And even with a band like that, it was kind of like a Chimera / like Slipknot level drumming. I was fucking soaked within like 2 songs. By the time that the show was over, I'm almost like throwing up. I remember once we were playing, I did throw up. I think we were like the 5th song in, and I don't know, just like a shot of adrenaline happened, and I started puking. So I'm puking over my arm next to the hi-hat stand while I'm playing. No one knew in the band. I told them afterwards, like, yeah, you guys know I puked during that song? Like, no, really? Yeah. But that shit's a lot of work. And the other point of that question is, would you get triggers so you could play that stuff? Well, why would I need triggers? Are you conceding and saying that music like that can't be played unless you have little fucking fancy equipment? If that's the case, then a lot of people are going to be mad that you make that assumption, and the other people are going to be like, hey man, shut up. We don't want people to find out that we got a fucking tap on our drums, and we can only do our fucking double stroke kick things with triggers because you don't get sufficient impact in their own right. And again, you're missing the fucking point of playing drums if you need to have all this fucking shit to enhance the sound that isn't actually there. That's about it on that. What's your opinion on the fact that you can't get money off covers that have the original music in them? It's like, far as me not being able to monetize, I'm completely fine with that. I guess it'd be good for me, but if I could monetize them, because most of my videos are covers, people's songs, but at the same time, I shouldn't be making money off of someone else's stuff. Without them, it wouldn't be there in the first place. Bands have a hard enough time making money as it is. Hey, if they want to make revenue off other people using their music, that is their right, and I honestly don't have any problem with that. They deserve it. Any tips for beginners? Play all the time. Play when you're not playing, as in play in your head. Work out transitions in your head. Play with your fingers. I was like a fucking lobster when I was in school. I still am. People probably see me at work walking down the hallway, and I'm doing this shit. Right? 'Cause I'm always working on shit. Grind your teeth. That's another big one. And listen. That was another big a big quote of mine. I do most of my learning listening. I don't need to sit down on the drum set and actually play something. Listening to something, I can hear something and think about how it is, what it is, and then work on it as far as like an arrangement standpoint, where you can listen to a song from start and finish and know exactly what's going to happen, and you can kind of picture it. I think that's very important too. So yeah, listen a lot, practice a lot. Basically, the more obsessed you become, the better you'll get. The more serious you take it, the further you'll get, for sure. Could you do a vocal cover? I probably could, but no, I don't think so. I'm glad someone likes my growls, but no, I'm not a singer. I'm not a vocalist. I just like to fuck around and, do dumb voices. However, if I do a vocal cover, it's gonna be like falsetto deicide, like Christmas Carol deicide songs. Dude, that's such a fucking great idea. And if somebody steals the idea, whoever makes that video, tell them they heard it from me, because fucking Christmas caroling deicide songs that's a viral video waiting to happen. What's your opinion on modern and past Lars? Lars is one of the reasons I started playing drums in the first place. He's unbelievably lazy at times now. It's like all of his live extras that he does are incredibly unnecessary and actually very unimpressive, and they don't really serve the song very well at all. Look up like the Lars Ulrich fail compilation. It's from that Undertaker freak guy. By the way, if you're watching, dude, what's up? I like your videos. But watch that. Just the shit Lars is doing. It's like, dude, that's another thing I have, where when you're drumming, if you're gonna bite off more than you can chew and try to do like a crazy fill, you better make it work. Otherwise, you totally fail. You just fuck the whole band over. Think of it as like, those freestylers, right? On the fucking dirt bikes. Was that motocross freestyle? A cool trick ain't a cool trick unless you can pull it off. If they don't pull off their trick and have control over themselves, they're gonna fucking crash in front of everybody. And that compilation video of Lars is a series of crashes where it's like, dude, for what you were trying to do in the first place, which is just dumb, like I'm gonna move my hands in like 16th note stuff, and whatever I hit is cool, and don't really care. And dude, what are you doing, man? As a drummer, you really don't seem like you want to progress. You play mostly the same shit every cover. Do you have an interest in progression, or you just play what you like and that's the end of it? Yeah, it's more of that. I play what I like and that's the end of it. My next step is like death metal, and again, that's just fucking tiring, and I'd have to learn all these new techniques and plus usually all these techniques involve playing lighter and all that shit. I don't want to do that. I play drums to have fun, and a lot of that really crazy shit is Drum Olympics, and it's there to impress other drummers, and it's hardly ever there to make a song better. Take Skeletons of Society from Slayer and put fucking 30-second note blast beats in that song instead, and I'll show you a fucking ruined song, right? Because the drummer had to fucking assert his ego and show everybody how fast he can play, and he fucking totally shits on the song. There's a time and place for it, and there's sometimes I wish I could pull it out, know it just so I could do it, but it's more work than fun. Were you able to learn songs quick when you first started? Essentially, like, the way I learn now is that I listen to a song, and within a few days I have it memorized, and I can already picture everything, and then I go downstairs and I play it. That's essentially what I've been doing, since I started. Like I mentioned in the first Q&A, I got my drum set when I was 10 on Christmas Eve. I set it up, And me and my brother went downstairs and we played Enter Sandman. He's a guitar player. And like Iron Man. And I'm sure it was horrible, but I knew the song. I couldn't play that well, but essentially it's the same thing. I've always had a really good ear for memorizing a song and memorizing the arrangement. But at the same time, yes, over years it's become a lot easier. Remember when the Negative One came out, I heard that song, and I think it was like 2 days later I uploaded the video of the cover. And then Devil and I came out, I think it was like a week or two later after the Negative One. And I think that took 1 day. I uploaded the video the next day. Nickel McBrain or Lars Ulrich? Both ways. Now that I fucking, dude, it's so funny that talking shit about Nickel McBrain. Nothing makes me happier than checking my comments and seeing some dude pissed off. Like, here we got some fucking asshole in his fucking mom's basement talking shit, and Nick goes on the world stage, you know, fucking selling out, playing for millions of people. Yeah, so what? Nico gets more credit than I've ever gave him. It just seems like Lars gets all the hate and the trash, and by a lot of ways he kind of deserves it. But no one says a fucking word about Nickel McBrain, and I don't understand that. It's not like he's Mr. Played by the book either. He's kind of like the same kind of drummer where, oh, it's that tempo? Oh, okay, all right, I'll do this. And he does the same thing in every song. And, you know, like, he doesn't play that fill just like he does on the album, because it's just like, oh, on the album it's like, again, it's like, okay, what, that's the tempo? Okay. Alright. Oh, next song? Alright. You know, and then he'll just do variations. And it's like, okay, yeah, we get it, Nico. Alright, oh, next part, okay. Oh, next song. You know? Whatever, man. Which song is more difficult, Angel of Death or War Ensemble? They're both basically the same tempo. I think they're probably both equally as hard. I mean, if you can get past that speed, it's, you know, or you can handle that, I think both songs would be pretty easy for you. But it's being able to do that. That's the hard part, you know. There are many tracks without drums on YouTube. Do you use them for your recordings? No, I don't. Very rarely. I always use the regular track. And because I've always played like that, I prefer to use the regular track. Whenever I use those backing tracks, I feel like I'm always questioning my pocket when I'm playing along to it. I'm so used to having the cues of having the drums going that it's always like a constant reassurance that I'm on time. So yeah, for one, I prefer not to use them, and I know I've tried to use them before, and I just didn't like it. I know some people prefer to not have a drumless track because it gets in the way and steps all over shit, which I agree it does, but you gotta be dead on in order for it to sound alright. Because even when I venture off and start doing my own shit, you can hear it in the background, but yeah, it's just a preference of mine. Rather not use it. What do you think makes a good drummer? Good question. I think ultimately the most important thing for a drummer is their reliability and their consistency. I don't care if you can do really complicated shit or if you do really simple stuff. No matter what, a good drummer, an effective drummer, needs to be on time and give people confidence as they're listening to it that he's got shit taken care of, or she, right? I don't want to be like that. But yeah, that's overall most important thing is timing. How's your bass drum mic pick up the click sound if it's placed a few inches away from the resonant head? I don't know. Same way that the snare picks up the snare sound, even though I don't have the bottom mic'd. I guess that's probably the easiest or the best way I can make sense of it. Do you prefer to make drum covers on rock metal bands only, or sometimes you make covers on metalcore? No, I don't listen to much metalcore. Some will argue that some bands I listen to are metalcore. My vision of what metalcore is like, Kill Switch Engage and All That Remains, that kind of shit. I don't like those bands. All that really brutal shit that gets me excited, gives me a woody, and then the chorus comes and they're like super clean. Either they're like really loud and whiny, or they're like really, like, I don't know, just really effeminate and basically you get a woody in the verse and you lose your boner in the chorus, and once I lose my boner a couple times, I'm bored. Time to go. Where was the first place you ever performed live? I think I played kazoo in my brother's band. It sounds silly, but honestly, the first time I was in front of a crowd, I had a kazoo, and I had to do my kazoo solo during Pink Pants that him and his friend were doing. Right? And then I think I was in 4th grade when what was it? Oh, I played at like a Valentine's Day thing with a band in the area. At there's like a bar band, and I did Turn the Page and Shooting Star with them. So that was kind of like my first experience. A really cool thing was my drummer, a really cool one was in 6th grade. My teacher caught wind that I could play drums, and I said, "Yeah, I can play it. You should. It'd be interesting if you let me bring my drums in someday, and let me play in front of the class. You could pretend it has something to do with education, right? Or show and tell, whatever." And he let me do it, and I set my shit up in front of the class, and I played for the whole class. And that was pretty cool. Wuhan or Zildjian? Well, if you don't want to pay a lot of money, Wuhan. But Zildjian do make great cymbals, so I guess it's just a matter of what you're willing to pay. How high do you sit on your throne, and how tall are you? I don't know how high I probably sit somewhere in the middle. Like, I'm not like a super high up, and I'm not super low down. And I think I'm 5'10". 5'10" or 5'11". How do you learn the exact fills in a song? That's something I really don't worry about too much. Besides just what I hear, even if I do hear something slightly different, but I know I could pull it off much more consistently by doing something slightly different, I'll do that. But I guess all I can say is I listen to it, and I hear it. Can you make tutorial videos for drum beginners? Um, yeah, if like a good idea pops to mind, like I'm still sitting on a video right now called Timing Tricks, which I don't know. I gotta watch it again and see if I actually like it, because I might be able to pull it off better if I redid it. But if I come up with a good idea, I would definitely make them. Since you're a Lombardo fan, how come you don't do any Grip Incorporated covers? I actually never really listened to Grip Incorporated. Someone suggested it, just like you did, and I checked it out, and what was the song called? Hostage for Heaven, I think. And there's something wrong with that guy, man. I mean, how do you play double bass so fast? And he's so old. And I'm already getting into this phase where it's like, I listen to some of my old Mongo 7 stuff, the old band I was in. And God, the shit I would put myself through with like the really fast double bass, it's so stressful. And just to hear that, and like he just does like that Angel of Death speed, I think it's a little faster, but it's super tight. And he's not throwing fills in there to like buy himself a breath in between. I mean, it's just like fucking, you're just that beat straight through the fucking thing, and it's like, Jesus Christ, man. So that's why I won't do it. Can we get a cover of Overkill in honor of Phil Taylor? You know, I got a lot of people saying, hey man, you should make a Motorhead song because Lemmy just died. Or, you know, every time this happens, people suggest I do that. And, you know, it's probably a good idea that I would, because obviously it's on people's minds and you want to make videos that people want to watch. But at the same time, I feel like I'd be being an opportunist. And I'd only be doing it for the sake of, you know, because people want me to, and not because I'm actually a fan. And basically what I'm saying is I'd never played Motorhead. I'm not much... not saying I'm not a fan. It's just like thousands of other bands, I never just sat down and got into them. And I'm not going to do it just because someone died and I want to capitalize on the situation and get attention on myself. I guess I don't know what you'd call that, but I'm not going to do it just because he died. I would do it if it was important to me. But then again, I'd almost even feel like I'd be being an opportunist again. And, you know, I don't like that. I just don't want to come off as, I'm just doing it for the sake of, oh, he died, watch me, because I'm getting promotion through his death. How do you clean your drums and how often? I don't think I've once done it. I'm a slob. And I always feel like if I clean something off, it might affect, like if I was to clean my bass pedal. Like I know a lot of people like totally deconstruct. That was my phone. It's dying. I'll have to again resume this Q&A in another day because I got to pick up my son soon. But like a lot of people completely dismantle their double bass pedal, you know, when they do a show or something. I would never do that. I feel like if I unscrewed one of those things and I went to go reattach it, it wouldn't attach right and I'd have a nightmare in my hands. So I don't touch shit. And even like all the lint and shit that builds up on it, all like the, you know, things that just stick to the oil, I don't touch it. And you know, I have a very small amount of time to play, and I'm not going to blow 10 minutes on it wiping things up before I actually just play. Let's see. Hey Josh, the speed on the pedal depends on my leg or the pedal? It's both. You know, the pedal doesn't make it. However, the pedal can affect how good your legs work. It's basically a combination of the two. I've had some really shitty bass pedals. I remember I got one for like $100, and it was just wobbly and the action was shit. Definitely affected my playing. So I would think it's a mix of both. What do you think of Charlie Benante from Anthrax? A big fan. I grew up listening to Spreading the Disease and Among the Living, State of Euphoria, and I was a really big fan of him. I didn't listen to Anthrax immediately, but I think once I was already well established with playing metal on drums, I think I was probably like 15 years old or something when I first got into Anthrax. And big fan of Charlie. Will you do more Morbid Angel covers? Yeah. I don't think you're going to be getting Hellspawn or Cleansed and Pestilence out of me, but I will do a couple more Morbid Angel songs. I wanted to do Nothing Is Not. That's one of my favorite songs, and it's something I can pull off. I did Where the Slime Live on my collabs. I'll probably end up just redoing a full cover of that one. That's fun to play. He Who Sleeps. Maybe even like what was it, Inquisition from Domination. There's a couple songs of Domination I could play. Basically, you take all the Pussy Morbid Angel songs, and I'll probably do those. Thoughts on bands like Pierce the Veil, Black Veil Brides, and shit. Well, Aaron R. responded to this question and says, it's emo shit. That's pretty much my impression of it, too. What metal genre would you consider your old band Mongo 7 to be? We started out as like a Limp Bizkit kind of band. Like when I joined, they lost their original drummer, and I joined. They had a bass player, guitar player, singer, and a DJ. And it was just kind of like, like bungly kind of rap metal. It wasn't rapping, but kind of like Korn. Korn doesn't rap, but they had a rap element to them. And as we kind of molded into ourselves more, we became heavier and heavier. And we're kind of like, I think I mentioned this before, but we're kind of like Chimera, whereas it has tendencies to have not straight up brutality, but we're a pretty brutal band. We had some wild shows. We had some crazy mosh pits and shit, and people really like their stuff. And now, listening back to our stuff, I didn't listen to Mongo 7 for years. I just kind of forgot about it and continued on, and I put a lot of thought into a lot of those drum parts and shit, and we had a good thing going. Favorite drum sound? Mine is Rush's Moving Pictures. Worst drum sound? Mine is Saint Anger. I don't know. There's so many. I think the drums sound great on the Grey Chapter. I thought that just the whole drum sound of that album is great. I even like Justice. Justice had a distinct sound. I'm horrible with favorites and worsts. I'm horrible with these favorite things. Even like the drums on Digimortal from Fear Factory. That sounded really good. There's so many. Worst drum sound, we can all agree, Saint Anger is complete garbage. I almost prefer Saint Anger over Ride the Lightning. That is the fucking shittiest goddamn drum sound ever. What kind of hand techniques do you use? I assume you mean drumming? I don't know. Will there be any songs from video games covered in the future? Yeah, probably. I like Sonic the Hedgehog. That's got some good songs. I want to do a Mario Kart medley. Right, I just gotta acquire a list of all the songs, and I was gonna try to paste something together. I thought that'd be pretty cool. But I'm not much of a gamer, so I don't have much experience with a lot of the music. What's your opinion on Gar Samuelson and Gene Hoglan? As far as Gar is concerned, I'm not much of a Megadeth fan, so I don't have much I can say about him. Gene Hoglan, yeah, he's pretty fucking good. I don't think he's, I don't know, like when I listen to a lot of Gene Hoglan stuff, although he's very difficult and he does a lot, it's just something comes off sloppy with it. I don't know what it is, but I can't touch that guy regardless. But yeah, there's something about his feel that I don't know. I can't put my finger on what I have an issue with Hoglan. But regardless of what my issue is, the dude is he's pretty incredible. Have you always played in socks? Pretty much. I don't like wearing shoes. I like to have the feel of the pedal. But I remember the first day when I played barefoot. And yeah, this was like back in '92 when I got my set. And I went downstairs, I set it up. By the time I got done, I had a blister like this big on my bottom of my big toe. And I realized that I should probably wear socks. I mean, I'm sure I tried shoes out and realized I didn't like it. I gotta feel it. Could you show us how you hold the sticks proper in your hands? No, I couldn't, because I still get people saying, "Hey, dude, you got a fucking gimp fucking snare hand." So apparently I don't hold my sticks right. And I know that, like, I think you learn in marching band that you never do this, right? Whenever I go for my, like the double stroke or like my ghost note accent shit, I always flip my fingers out. So if you ever see my pinky going, that's a big no-no in the drum world apparently. But because I taught myself, I just do my thing. It's kind of like naive art. Have you ever heard of naive art? Where people are like really into like drawing and shit, but they have no understanding or like scholastic background in how to actually do art. They just do it because they have a passion for it. But yet you can see in their art that it's like their technique and their approach is all fucked up, and they don't understand a couple of the fundamentals. That's me on drums, So I'm like a naive drummer, right? Look up naive art on Google. You'll see what I'm talking about. What do you think about Madel Cohen and her drumming? I ain't got nothing bad to say. She does a lot of the same stuff I do, or you could say I do a lot of the same stuff she does. Since she's fucking way bigger than I am. I always think it's funny when people say, you should grow a pair of tits. You'd have 1 million subscribers. And I always know what they're talking about. Will you ever do any 5-Finger Death Punch? Their music is right up your alley. I put 5-Finger Death Punch in the same category as like Kill Switch Engage. A little different though. They kind of got like that fucking bro metal, fucking tap out, fucking Affliction, dumb Spike TV macho fucking drunk pissed off guy thing. And then they get into fucking how painful their life is in the chorus, right? Am I right about how that's basically like verses, I'm gonna kick your ass, choruses, what's become of my life, that kind of shit? Fuck that, man. I understand they do have like a really good drummer. Their music isn't bad. Then again, so is Kill Switch Engage. I can't stand those fucks. So maybe I'll turn into a fan someday, but because I never really gave them a chance. I just heard them, hear what they're like on the radio, and say, fuck this, man. Are you still worshiping Slipknot, or have you moved on to another band? Well, like I said, I go in worship cycles. As you can see, I've gotten back into Pantera again. I've been playing Metallica again. I got a small circle, and those circles always come back. Is the money from this YouTube channel anything to write home to mom about? No. And have you personally received any comments, kudos, fuck yous from professional musicians in general? Or any of the people you perform covers of? Yes. Happened a lot, actually. Havoc has shared my videos on their Facebook. David Silveri of Korn has shared my videos on his Facebook. I've talked with Jeff Waters from Annihilator, Rob Arnold from Chimera. I talked to the singer from Warbringer. Yeah, I have got a little bit of recognition for the stuff I've done, and that's always a boner moment for me, for sure. How much you practice every day? Oh boy, I don't practice every day, that's for sure. At best, I might play like 4 hours a week. When you make videos, do you play along to the song or a metronome? Always the song. If you play along to songs, do you have to restart a lot for some songs if the drums enter first? I used to, but now I edit. Like, I'll go in with Reaper and I'll loop the first bar, so I give myself a lead in, but only I hear that. That doesn't. So I'll use that as my version to follow, and then when I end up mixing the drum track into the track, I just use the regular track, so you never hear it. But I as for like a past year or so, but for a while now, I've been always creating a little lead in, so I can start properly. What's your opinion on Clive Burr and the first 3 Maiden albums? I've mentioned before that Maiden did not inspire me to play drums. I always thought their drumming on their albums were pretty stale. Like, if you hear live Maiden, listen to Fear of the Dark live, and then listen to Fear of the Dark on the studio. Listen to Number of the Beast, Hallowed Be Thy Name, basically anything off Number of the Beast. It's just kind of like slow. It's vanilla. When they're live, there's so much more energy and character in their songs. I never thought much about Clive Burr, really. But he was there for a very important part of Maiden, and there's a lot of good songs with Clive on them. But as far as like studio work, it's something's always bothered me with Maiden albums. When are you going to play Becoming of Pantera? When I can play Becoming of Pantera. Are you going to do more MSI covers? I'd like to. I'd like to do a medley of the whole Frankenstein Girls album. Because, yeah, I love that album. It's fucking great. Now that you have a cowbell, will you do some GNR covers? Yeah, probably. Well, this kind of coincides with the question right next to it. What kind of music does your wife like? Maybe cover her favorite song. She wants me to do Rocket Queen from Appetite. She wants me to do Wild Side from Motley Crue. Both are good ideas. Yeah, someday I will. What do you consider to be the weakness in your drumming? My double bass. I have a lot of weaknesses. Yeah, double bass drives me nuts. Blast beats drive me nuts. I don't know. I feel like I've taken a lot of my bad habits, and I just made that what my toolbox is, which I don't really consider to be a bad thing. I kind of use the same approach for a lot of my fills, and I don't give a fuck. What's your favorite deathcore or grindcore band? Just by Icon. Do you have any advice for drummers who want to start composing? Well, one thing I do when I make up stuff, like I know a lot of drummers, or I think I get the sense that drummers are supposed to follow the bass line. I've never gave one fuck about bass line. I grew up listening to Slayer, Metallica, should I say Justice, and bass was never really essential. What I cared about was the guitar riffs, the vocal patterns. Basically, when I listen to music, I hear what sticks out and I try to pick up on it. So there was a lot of times in my old bands where there'd be a certain phrasing with the vocals. I'll totally disregard what I'm doing and start playing along to the vocals. I just came up with these ideas of my own where it's like, well, if I'm listening to something, I'm not gonna play along to the bass line. I want to be a bigger part of the band and pick up on things that are happening all over the place. Who do you think's better during a live performance, Jay Weinberg or Joey from Slipknot? Well, I could say this: Jay is a lot tighter. Like he's right on with his timing. Joey always sped shit up and slowed things down, which was kind of what I liked about Joey in the first place, is that he could like gauge the energy of the song and speed it up if he had to, just if it benefit the situation. And that's what I really liked about Slipknot, is that it was like, it's really natural, really raw, and it wasn't mechanical. But at the same time, I like how Jay approaches it. I think he does a really good job. However, he does cheat a little bit on the double bass, and I know Joey did that as well. Like if you watch Disaster Pieces, all those long double bass runs, he stops halfway through and starts going for fills and shit, and so I like them both, and they're both actually very, very different, but yeah, they both get a thumbs up. I can't say who's better. You plan on making Chimera covers such as Resurrection? Yeah, there's a bunch of songs in Resurrection I'd like to do. I'd like to do that song. I did Paralyzed already. I'd like to do Empire, Needle, The Flame, End It All. There's some fucking badass songs. I think that's like Chimera at their highest peak. They just got Andel's back, and yeah, that's a pretty badass album. Sometimes I can't hit the hi-hat fast enough to correspond with the tempo given. I get sick of everyone's bitching because it's too slow. Any special techniques I should try? Yeah, I always say, like, if I have to do like the really fast shit on the hi-hat or the ride, I learned it's called the Moeller technique. Look it up, Moeller. And I always just thought of it as every time I hit, I'm also hitting on the way back. So every time I go down, I'm hitting on the way back. Go down, hit on the way back. So that way, you're doing this, but you're actually getting two notes out of it, right? And yeah, look up the Moeller technique. I think that's how you pronounce it. I know that's how you spell it, Moeller. Look that up, and again, yeah, it's just I'm self-taught. I figured this shit out on my own, and then I hear people talking about fucking the names of stuff, and it's like, fuck. And then I realized that, oh, okay, that's essentially what I do. So yeah, look that up. That'll help. That'll help a lot. You ever tried to do the George Colias double bass technique? I assume you mean like the whole swivel foot thing? No. I wish I could do that. Because it seems like it's almost like the Moeller technique of the feet. If you could, I guess you can kind of see it like that, because you're kind of getting one fluid motion and you're getting two notes out of it. I wish I could do that, because that would solve basically all of my double bass problems. But no, it's just I'm not the practice type. My practice consists of going downstairs, deciding which song I'm going to play, warming up to it 3 or 4 times, and finally getting a good take out of it. And, I never sit down and practice shit. You ever considered Pearl Jam or Alice in Chains? Yeah. There's a couple old Pearl Jam songs. Even Flow's obviously a lot of fun. Even like Black, that'd be good. But Alice in Chains, I like them. I never played any, but I know I'd really enjoy it if I did. When and where did you see Pantera, and how was your experience? Both times I saw them was at the Brown County Arena in Green Bay, and both times were good. The first time was with Cold Chamber and Anthrax. The second time was the first time was the Trendkill tour, and the last time I saw them was like 2000, I think. It was either 99 or 2000, and Reinventing the Steel tour, and they had fucking who was it? It was Morbid Angel, which was awesome because I was a huge Morbid Angel fan at the time. That was like right when Gateways of Annihilation came out. Why am I bad at drumming? We're all bad at drumming at first. You gotta practice. The more you obsess about it, the better you get. You should do Metallica lessons from the first 4 albums, please. Yeah, good idea. I should, and I will. Being that you're from Wisconsin, how ashamed are you to be a Packers fan? I'm not a fucking football fan at all. I give a fuck less about football. The place I work is it's a fucking Packer worship fest around here, and I don't know. It's kind of like religion. I always see them both as the same. It's like, oh, because I grew up here, I gotta like the Packers, and because I grew up here and there's churches everywhere, I gotta be a Christian, and and then people grow up in fucking Illinois, end up liking the Bears. People that grow up in Pakistan usually become Muslims, and it's just a bunch of dumb bullshit. A bunch of fucking tribal horse shit, and I don't want nothing to do with any of it. Who's your favorite YouTube drummers? Troy Wright, he's amazing. I watch a lot of YouTube drummers. I like Beto, the Ninja drummer. Beto Cardoso. So Damn Lazy does great Slipknot covers and shit. There's so many, but yeah, So Damn Lazy's real high quality. Troy Wright is just I'm envious of that guy. He just does such a great job. Great feel. Great technique. Yeah, I'm good with that. I watch a lot more, but those are definitely notable. Do you like James LeBrie's voice? Fuck no, dude sucks. All right, I guess that's it. Sorry this took so long. There's 540 comments. A lot were repeats. A lot I just didn't feel like answering because I'm horrible at your favorites. Top this, top that, your favorite song of all time. I'm not good at that stuff. But yeah, okay, that's about it for now. Sorry if I didn't answer your question. I try to get almost everything. You know, a lot were repeats, and I encourage you to watch Answering Your Questions Part 1 and 2, because I answer all the basics and more. But thank you all for watching, and I'll be back with more fucking videos.